What's new, Council Comics? It's Sunday night, which means we're going to talk about the movies. We'll be back in 30 seconds. What's up, Council Comics? We're going to talk about our strangest films tonight. We'll be right back.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
Did you lose a license or something? Why did we switch the theme song?
I thought I picked the right one.
That's one of my band songs. That's the new one we're going to be using.
I like the old one. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we always need change. We always need change, though. Perhaps the old one will come back at another time, as nostalgia does.
Speaking of nostalgia, I feel nostalgic sitting with you here again.
Why is that?
I'm being funny. I'm doing the intro. What's up? This is Cliff. Also, Cliff NY, if you're going to follow me on Instagram, or Clifford NY, if you're going to follow me on Twitter or on YouTube. We've got Sam.
You're.
We got Green Shirt Guy, a.k.a. Ronaldo.
What's up?
Sam doesn't even get an... Sam, do you even have an a.k.a.?
SVR 845. It's only in my thing that says
I
right
know,
there,
but
SVR.
Natural. I don't feel like calling
I
anybody.
put my Instagram handle on there too.
Yeah, but your Instagram handle is like a name, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Poppy Ray Ray. It's great. You know?
Poppy Ray Ray.
We need a Poppy Sam Sam over here.
And Poppy Cliff.
I'm dropping stuff.
I ain't having babies. So and I'm not gonna, I could follow up, but I'm not, because this is a family show. So
Hold on. Okay.
just tell me which one to pick.
I can do that. You guys know, we're getting everybody involved here. Cliff is being the host, and he's doing a great, wonderful job, and I'm here on your backup. Don't worry about that. You good.
They're all labeled. All right. So let's start with some box office news.
Of which there's little.
Of which there is little. So, like, we try to look at the weekend box office, but all it did was tell us about Avatar.
Which I saw, by the way.
And we will talk about that shortly. So I switched to... Oh, wait a second. The weekend? Let's do the 6th.
That's last year.
Yeah, that's weird. Hold on. Let me try this again. So this year, daily... So it's like all Avatar and then like a little bit of Megan from Friday being reported.
But that's what I mean. Like, how's Avatar the only one there when you click on the weekend one?
Because, I mean, is it possible that
because Megan made 11 million? That's a reported. Just in that itself.
But maybe this is all that people are seeing is Avatar. It's the only movie I hear about lately, regardless of how I feel.
Okay.
All right. In the meantime, Megan breaks all sorts of box office records in its opening weekend.
Okay.
Did it?
Yes. In addition,
but why, Green Shirt Guy? Why are you so down on this movie?
I just don't care. This is doesn't fall into my sphere of influence at all or interest. I don't care. I'm not going to see it, so I don't care.
That's exactly how I feel about Avatar. Yeah, here we are.
$5 billion. I'm still not going to see it.
Yep. And
I want to see it. I think it's going to be a good movie.
How's Puss in Boots not on that list?
I don't know.
You know that made money.
I am Puss in Boots.
You know that made money.
I still have to see that. I think.
And the Whitney Houston movie's not even at least in the top 10. I'm trying to think what else is in here. Babylon came out. That's got to be in there.
I heard Babylon's bad.
Oh,
though.
dude, Babylon should be in there. Babylon came out earlier.
It might be bad, but it's a people want to see it.
Nobody wants to see it.
I mean, I don't know. It's gonna get Oscar stuff.
It
I want to
might,
see it
but
just
the
for
Oscars
the
never
for the
reflect
scope.
what America
man.
wants.
Ooh, hey, Nicolas Cage has a Western out. I might be in just to see that.
That I would be in for.
The Old Way, it's called. Who else is in it? Let's see.
I mean,
Oh,
but
and he's got a ridiculous mustache too.
Megan got 30 million. That's a lot. That's a
Nicolas
lot.
Cage. I don't know who that is. Clint Howard. I know that guy's face, but I don't know his name. Nick Searcy, another character actor.
What is this DCU fans petition for Netflix to say this? Go away, bro.
I know.
Snyderverse people just go.
Like,
Yo,
you
your
know-
Snyderverse
you know
people,
it's a slow
go
news day.
away, bro.
You
Like, we
know
trying to
it's
be
slow.
nice to y'all, but y'all
Yeah.
just need to go away now. Like, y'all are really annoying, man. Mad annoying.
Eli Roth wants to shoot a Thanksgiving horror film.
Based on Grindhouse.
Oh, is it called Thanksgiving?
I believe it is.
Remember the fake trailer from those two Grindhouse movies?
That is exactly what it's based on. Yes.
Oh, they have to make that. That I will see.
There you go.
Light meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Thanksgiving.
Yep.
There's that
Endgame
scene-
director
there's that-
celebrates.
That shot of the grandmother tied up with the little booties on her legs. She's all covered in whatever looks like she's been cooked.
Oh.
I see that movie. That movie looks ridiculous.
Let me
And-
well, go ahead, Cliff.
I was gonna move on to the next topic. What's up?
Well, go to Avatar 2, and I'll give my quick little review about it. So me and Kamario went to see Avatar 2 at the AMC in the nice comfy seats. Now you get the food. We had the chicken nuggets. You know, she had the Impossible. I had the regular chicken. We was chilling with the curly fries and all that.
More importantly, did you wear the glasses?
No, we did not watch it in 3D. We watched it in regular. Just for the fact, for me personally, like 3D is not something that makes me go, ooh.
This
And when I
is
was
the only movie where it has any value whatsoever.
Yeah, but if you need 3D to make your movie mean something, it's not really a good movie.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
okay,
really a
that's
good
fair.
movie.
However, if you
You know what I
if
mean?
if you film a movie in all its glory in that format, you're not seeing it in its greatest format. That's like buying a Ferrari and only driving in the first gear.
No one listens to me, and Ronaldo's absolutely
Eh,
right. I
don't agree.
Fine. The only thing I enjoyed about the original Avatar is the visual spectacle of it all. And
But-
looking at this one, I said I'm only going to see it in 3D because there's no way it has any other sort of value for me. Obviously,
Like
it can
there's
have
a
value for people.
there's a lot to the 3D thing. Like as I was watching the digital one, I could tell when the scenes were 3D. You can tell because they're pushed back. They got a lot more shadow. You can tell which scenes are which. And to me, it was just like, okay, that's not really impressive. That's not impressive. The movie overall, I give it 8. It's a good movie. It's a good blockbuster.
Good, because you're going to go see it again.
Yeah, it's a good blockbuster that you can watch. Is it the best thing in the world? No. There are a lot of problematic things in this movie. For me, like, I feel like James Cameron is the type of guy now that he'll try to stick you in the eye just for the purpose of sticking you in the eye. To say, oh, I'm a director, I can do whatever I want, and nobody's gonna say anything about it. And I'm like, that's cool, but just be prepared for the backlash like he's gotten now. Like the casting stuff, like with the Kate Winslet stuff, like you can't tell it's Kate Winslet. She even uses an accent, so you don't even know. So the idea that you would cast Kate Winslet in a queen native role that's based on a native tribe is very problematic to me. Because what are you casting her for? You can't see her. She looks nothing like her in the movie. You could not cast a person of that kind of background for that role. Why did you do that? And to me, I think he did that because I can do that because I'm James Cameron.
Can I give
You know
you
what
a
I mean?
counterpart to that? And you're probably gonna not like it. I hear that, and I'm fully behind hiring people of all creeds, colors, whatever, right? But it's acting. So if you think she's going to do the best job in that role, what difference does it make what color?
Sure, her role is not that big though.
So then,
You know what I mean?
then why are we arguing?
Because it does make sense. Like in this world today, where we're trying to have more things done right in the filming world.
I'll give you if
you know what I mean? Like you know that's gonna put a stick in people. And to me, it's not a good enough argument that she's a great actress, because there are other great actresses that could do that role.
Well, then, yeah, but if you can't tell who it is, what difference does it make?
It makes a big difference to the people that wanted to get that job, that could have gotten that job. You know what I mean? Like, why would you? She's got plenty of roles. She's doing good. Why would you put her there when you could? This is the opportunity to bring up an opportunity to bring up a young person that can fill that role. That's of that kind of background.
That you're not going to be able to tell that they're of that kind of background.
But you would know in the credits, oh, they actually put somebody of that background. That's good.
I think that's just, I mean, and coming from a personal color background, I think that's pandering.
It's not pandering. I don't think it's pandering at all. In today's world, where we want to have people represented the right way. Like Cliff, you know about it. You're big on representation. You know what I mean?
I'll give you this. If Marvel had chosen a white actor to play Namor, I'm fully behind you. That makes sense because the guy looks the part.
It's the same principle though. She's playing a native group. She's playing a native group though.
If you can't tell it's her, what difference does it make? It could have been a robot.
But that's the point I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
It makes difference.
That's my theory.
Wait, all right, enough.
And because I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it.
Right.
Yeah, we respectfully disagree.
I respect you disagreeing with him in this one thing, but the problem with this movie is every opportunity he had, right? Every opportunity he had, he still chose somebody white. You know,
it's his movie. He can do whatever he wants.
Of course, it's his movie. He can do whatever he wants, but he could shut. He could.
Then don't go see it. If you don't,
then I won't. I'm happy not to see it.
I'm a movie fan.
Don't go see it. Don't give your money to him. If you don't like what he's doing, don't give me your money.
I can't criticize it if I don't see it. You know what I mean?
That's not. Yeah,
I can't be that.
Criticize the plot.
What up, Phil? I can't be that person that's like, oh, don't go see this movie. It's bad, but I didn't even see it. I'm giving it credit on its movie basis. It's a good movie. It's really a good movie. But to me, it's just personally, these steps could have been avoided. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. They could have been avoided, but for the sake, I think, to pull people in, it's put out there as something to stub your toe, in my opinion. But I respect your opinion on it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
You all right there?
I don't agree, but that's fair. I hear you.
Right now, I want to close on.
We're talking about Avatar, Phil.
The man chose to do a movie, right, based heavily off of events in the history of indigenous people, and then
made up indigenous people.
No, but what he based it on, I know it's alien foo-foo shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like we don't know where he got this from. We know his inspiration. He's been public with it, and then hired no one. You know, so like, I just feel like, really, like, no one. You know,
yeah. I mean, but moving on from that point from the review, like, it was a good movie. The graphics and not the 3D, but just the graphics in itself are top of the line. You really look at their like complexions and skin, and it looks really like skin. Like, it's top of the line. My only gripe ending is that the ending's a little bit Titanic-ish. And being that Cameron did Titanic, it was like, okay, you're going back to your Titanic toolbox. That's fine. But no, Phil, I didn't see it in 3D. I just saw it the regular way. And plus the price point.
I'm asking Phil.
Oh.
Nah.
Kamari says the CGI is fire. It is.
It ought to be at this point. If your CGI is bad and you're making $1 billion, potentially $1 billion movie, you're an idiot. That's why.
Oh.
I mean, we've talked about this and other things. That's why a couple times in some shows that we watch on Disney Plus, I'm like, Disney prints their own money. I understand you want to keep costs down, whatever, but they print their own money, and knowing that they're going to make more than enough back somewhere within the company, there's no reason to have shitty CGI at this point. There's none
facts.
whatsoever.
That's facts. Yeah, Cliff, pull up
Diane.
Diane. Yeah. So why is Sigourney Weaver playing a 14-year-old girl named Kiri? It's funny because throughout the movie we thought they were calling her Kitty, but we find out it's Kiri, and I was like, okay. But what happens with that is that Sigourney Weaver's character died in the last movie, and she was basically pregnant when she died. And for some reason, they were able to keep the Avatar in stasis and had the pregnancy while she was dead, basically. And they don't know who the father is. So there's a whole thing that's leading into other movies that are coming and all that other stuff. Mark, dude, they made that movie and Lindsay Lohan was her daughter. It was called Freaky Friday.
No, she wasn't in Freaky Friday. It was from
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, thank you.
Now, Jamie Lee Curtis appears with Sigourney Weaver, but there is no body swapping in the movie that they appear in.
Yeah.
What movie they in together? I'm
There,
blanking
it's
on
with Kristen Bell.
I don't think I've seen it then.
Nothing beats that. I like the one with
You Again. The movie's called You Again.
the one with the kid from the Wonder Years. Well, he's not a kid anymore. Who's the kid from the Wonder Years?
Well, which one?
Ben Savage?
Kevin Arnold?
Ben Savage. It was Ben Savage, and then I think it was Judge Reinhold or something like that.
That's
Or
Yeah,
vice versa.
Vice versa.
Classic.
Is that vice versa?
Yeah,
there's
that's
two of
vice
them that came
versa.
out right around the same time.
Yeah.
Because that was like the big, that was the plot that they did every 2 years in the 80s.
Phil says, I like the sequel better than the original. I feel like Cameron has a really good track record with sequels that are 8 or 9 years later after the original T2. Yeah, it has a bit of, see, that's the thing. It has a touch of everything. It has a touch of Aliens with, as far as the military. They do follow a certain group, and they're, besides the general, the rest are just whatever. They're not really interactive, but it does have a touch of that in there. Mark says, dude, T2, the ultimate sequel. That's the best sequel ever. Next to Empire.
I don't know, man. It's right there. I consider Empire Strikes Back a sequel, and to me, that's probably
I mean, that and Empire
So,
are the best ones ever. Yeah,
it's really hard to. And then The Dark Knight's a sequel technically, and that's a great movie.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's probably my top 3 right there. Empire.
Right? I'm just trying to think of other sequels that really knock it out of the park.
Sequels.
Well, Top Gun, that new Top Gun.
The new Top Gun. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna tell you it's better.
I haven't gone back to rewatch the original. I keep meaning to do it. I just haven't done it yet.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is very
Like what's
Larry
tough
just
with
said
those
it.
Marvel ones is you're right. It's technically a sequel, but because it's part of a pantheon of movies, it's difficult to call that a sequel because it's following. But you're right. It technically is.
No one will agree with me, and I accept it. But Back to the Future 2.
Back to the Future, classic.
No, but Part 2, I thought
I agree with you.
Phenomenal. The time travel, the parallel universe tracking, like all of that was like it was so thought out. But you gotta be such a nerd to appreciate it.
It was so good.
Thank you, Larry.
I don't know if I consider the second one better than the first one. That's difficult. I mean, you think about that Back to the Future story as a whole is kind of problematic, and the story that it's telling, that you're either a loser or a winner, and you can't get out of that, and doesn't matter.
I know, but you know what? Every 80s film is horrible. You know,
correct.
I went to watch Monster Squad the other day.
Ooh, classic.
Right?
Monster Squad.
It's bad. And the derogatory F-bomb was dropped like 1,000,000 times in the first half hour.
I haven't watched. I watched it a couple years ago. I watched it during COVID, actually.
I'm just saying, if any of your kids are gay, don't watch it with them, or at least warn them, because there's gonna be a lot of slurs coming fast. Oh, thank you, Mark. But still, when it comes to the 80s, I automatically just like if someone's younger than me, I would be like, "Yo, it's an 80s movie. Please prepare yourself for horrors untold." Right? And that's it. I just embrace it and I run with it. And actually, it was Monster Squad that woke me out of that coma, you know? And so, yeah, I already I'm not, yeah, I mean, I am dismissing it, but I don't mean dismissing it in I don't think about it ever sort of way, but I dismiss it in I'm not worried about this problematic BS when I go to watch Back to the Future, because that's not why I'm watching it, you know?
You know, it's funny, and I say this to my sons all the time when I put on a movie that, I grew up with, from the 80s. I'm like, this is such an 80s movie. And they just kind of look at me like, whatever, Dad. But, you can tell from almost the first opening credits, yeah, this is an 80s movie. Just the way it's shot.
Yeah.
It has an animated opening.
Yeah, they got intros in those movies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, now they throw the intros at the end.
It's funny because 90s movies do kind of have their own feel genre, but it's not as stark as 80s movies to me.
Yeah.
You can tell when you're watching an 80s movie.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell by the grain, too. Of the
Well,
film.
there's that, but I mean,
Yeah,
taking away film quality, obviously you're going to notice that right away. But
yeah,
the plots, just the way, the pace of things, it's,
they're more campy.
They're camping.
You know what I mean? Like it's really like a theater acting, I think, in the
Yes.
80s. Now it's very, very fluent. Phil, 80s had a lot of great sequels, though. They sure did, man. Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, which is actually a prequel.
Shield Monkey Brains.
Yeah. Anthony,
Dr. Jones,
hey guys,
Dr.
I'm
Jones.
here in spirit. Bless your spirit, Anthony. Bless your spirit.
And also
Well,
with you.
Welcome.
I'm
loving the fact that you guys are commenting. All shout out to everybody. We love this. We love y'all interacting with us.
Absolutely.
This is the best stuff, man. Thank you very much. Star Trek 2 is way better than the original. The Wrath of Khan!
Well, because the first one is atrocious. So I mean, for me, Star Trek doesn't start till you get to number 2. The first one is so bad.
I want the self-tying shoes.
The first one is very interesting of Star Trek.
Mhm.
and chasing the Voyager probe, and there is one Star Trek novel that I don't even remember anymore, but it does follow up that Voyager is the birth mother of the Borg.
Oh, is that right?
Oh,
Yeah. And I always felt like that was so appropriate because look at the Borg Queens. The Borg Queens look like her.
Yeah.
And they always select a woman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
fair.
a hive. I am so mad that Voyager didn't end the way I wanted it to end. I thought that the Queen's pursuit of Seven of Nine was excessive, and every time they would show Seven of Nine reconnecting with her past, her mother was never there, and I always thought the big reveal for the show would be that the most recent version of the Queen would be Seven of Nine's mother. And that it would have occurred at the time that Picard and his crew defeated the Queen in the past in the First Contact movie. And I'm just devastated that that's not what happened.
Yeah, I love Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was
great.
my joint, bro.
I was the Next Generation guy.
Yeah.
But guess what? They're all canon and they all fit together because
Is
they were
Deep
the
Space
original
Nine the
shared
one
universe.
with the what are they called? Not Kardashians. Like, I know that's not right.
Cardassians.
Cardassians. Yes, I knew it was wrong, but I knew I was close. Yeah, that one was okay. I didn't mind that one.
Phil says, I watched Star Trek 1 recently. I wondered if there were early Borg references there.
Right,
Well-
because they didn't know it when they were making it, but when you watch the Borg form later on, you start wondering,
Well,
why
that's what I'm
do we
saying.
know
A
things?
writer went, "Oh, I can use this, and this as seeds, and fold it in." That makes sense.
Larry says the second generation movie was better than the first.
I hope that he is referring to First Contact because First Contact is mwah. It's so great.
I don't
First
remember
Contact is good.
which one's First Contact.
Where
I
they
don't
go
remember.
after the Borg.
And
yeah,
then-
and then they go time travel to the first guy who did the warp speed. Remember, he was like a drunk, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're a legend." And he's just like,
He's like,
"Whatever."
"I am."
man.
Man, I haven't seen that movie in so long. I have.
Yeah, that
seen
movie
it.
was great. Isn't
But
that the one? That's the one
That's
when
the one that's
he's
got
like,
the
"Blow
Picard
up
with
the
the stuff
damn
on his
ship,"
face?
and he's like, "No." That's that
The
one,
poster
right?
is
Yes,
Picard with the
Alfred
Borg
Woodard.
stuff.
Yeah.
The poster is the Picard with the Borg stuff on
Yes.
his face. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have seen it. I just don't remember it.
That was
Yeah,
a
Alfred
great
Woodard
movie.
is in that movie. She's the one with Picard. She's like, blow up the damn ship,
ship!
Picard!
I gotta tell you what, I even enjoy the new ones. The
Oh yeah, the Chris Pine ones.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're good.
yeah. The Chris Pine was. Trying to get Larry saying
The
no more.
third one kind of took its own journey, which I'm okay.
I didn't
with.
like the second one though, man.
I loved
The
See, I
con
liked the
one,
second
I was
as soon as
like, come
realized
on,
what they were
man.
Yeah,
doing.
the Con one is hit or miss. That is
Yeah, that was
sure.
a miss.
I
Yeah.
liked that one because as soon as I realized it was Khan, I was like, "Oh, I see what you're doing, and this is brilliant." Because it's the same path
Yeah.
as the original ones. It's just an alternate timeline. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I
It
see
was-
what you're doing." This
You
is
know why
great."
that ruined it for me? Because it kind of leaked. And again, these freaking leaks.
Oh,
all
see,
over
I
the
didn't
place.
know before I went.
It
and
kind
saw
of leaked for me that he was playing Khan, and with J.J. Abrams constantly like denying, "Oh, it's not Khan, it's not Khan," blah blah
That's
blah,
right.
and then to reveal it was Khan, I was like, But they're good movies. They got the new one. They're starting production on the new one.
I hope
Who's
so.
is he directing? Is Abrams doing the fourth one? Or
He
no?
is not directing it. No, it's gonna be somebody new.
Is he
But the
involved at all?
same cast. That I don't know.
Because I mean, and not to say that somebody couldn't pick it up and run with it, because that's what happens with all these franchises. But since they, quote unquote, rebooted it with him, it'd be interesting that for him to at least be going, say, this is where I was planning on going if I kept going, So there's a continuity there, but
Mhm.
it's fine.
Yeah. Do you guys watch Picard?
I have
did.
not.
It's okay.
I have to watch.
What's
second
the one
season
with
of-
Bakula?
That's
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
I
Yeah,
heard that one's good.
It's okay.
it's decent. It's decent.
I love the Vulcan on it. But Larry's like, it sucks.
Larry said it sucks, bro.
Don't hold back, Larry. Tell us what you
Oh
really think.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it. Mom says she watches Picard.
Picard is a fine show, but action oriented, and in doing so, abandons all sorts of things from the next generation in the process.
Does it?
Yes,
I mean, but it's still part of it, though.
it is still part of it.
It
but
just
like,
doesn't cling to it like lore. You know what I mean? I think that was the purpose. To do something
Right.
different.
it does not cling to the lore. There's a lot of things in there that have made fans very divided on it.
Next generation.
Well,
movies
that
are
happens with
favorites.
any big franchise. You're always gonna piss off half the fans. Because I mean, I'm a Star Wars guy. I will always defend Star Wars over Star Trek any day of the week. And I watch Star Trek. I enjoy Star Trek. But for me, Star Wars is number one, and you will never convince me otherwise. Having said that, I know a lot of people hated Force Awakens, and I loved it. So you're gonna have that
liked
in
it.
any franchise.
Larry says, "Dude, David has killed her off and brought him back as an android." What is he talking about?
I am not going to translate this because it's going to ruin the show for you. So I'm not going to tell you what he thinks.
Larry, you putting spoilers in there?
Yes.
Spoiler alert, Larry. Spoiler alert.
Larry,
And considering I had to suffer through Rise of Skywalker for you guys, I want you guys
Skywalker? Did you call it Scott? That's,
I got time tomorrow.
that's
I'm
the
gonna watch
appropriate
Bumblebee
name.
for you, Cliff.
What?
I'm watching Bumblebee for you tomorrow. I got time tomorrow.
Bumblebee's great.
Yeah,
film.
but Bumblebee's a lovely film.
I didn't hate Rise of Skywalker. There's parts
All
of it
good,
that are
Larry. No,
problematic. but
I
didn't
did
hate it.
not. I did not. Oh, you didn't hate Rise of Skywalker.
I didn't hate it,
But
there's
you didn't
parts of
hate
it that I
Force
thought
Awakens.
had issues. I'm sorry.
You did not hate Force Awakens.
No,
Right. I like Force
I
Awakens.
really didn't like The Last Jedi. I had real problems with that movie.
I have problems with both of the last two movies.
I
Right.
think the last.
Oh wait,
I
no.
think I even said this.
I kind of like The Last Jedi. My problem is, anyhow, the point is, when you watch these three films, none of this says cohesion, thoughtfulness, None
Right.
of those words come
Right.
to mind when you watch those 3 movies together. You
Right.
know?
And the thing, like, some people try to bring up, well, Star Wars was made, they didn't know about Empire. Granted, yes, they didn't know, and they were doing it as they went along, but they purposely went in with a purpose to make it connect properly. You know what I mean? But Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker was just like, you're not remembering anything that came.
Well,
before.
I think Last Jedi was trying to fix the problems from, or Rise of Skywalker was trying to fix the problems from Last Jedi.
Oh, it blatantly
Yeah, it
was.
totally
Like,
was.
And I
it's
think
a
that's
lesser
that,
film.
and I think that's where it had its problems, was because if it had to just pick up from another movie and kind of keep going, it's fine, but it's got to fix this problem, this problem, this problem. So you never got to sit and really appreciate what was going on, because it kind of was not slapdash, but it was constantly moving.
No, the
plots
whole movie
because I
was
had to
like
fix
Band-Aid,
stuff.
Band-Aid, Band-Aid.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I think they did it when Ryan Johnson came in and said, look, I'm going to
Your microphone.
it's not on.
It is on. It's just you're fading out.
Oh.
When Ryan Johnson.
When Ryan Johnson
Who
came
makes
in
great
and said, I'm
murder
gonna kill
mysteries, but
I'm gonna kill off Snoke. I feel at that point Kathleen Kennedy and them should have been like, no, we don't want
or
Snoke
do it
killed.
the right way.
You know what I mean? Because he was being stepped up as the next big bad, and it was going well. You know what I mean? I thought he was a good big bad. He had some mystery to him. How does he know these powers? Why is he after? But then you killed him. And
I'm
then it's
okay
like,
with killing
okay,
him.
who's gonna be the bad? Is it gonna
Okay.
be Kylo in the
It
next
has to
one?
be Kylo.
You
I'm
know what I
okay
mean?
with
But
him
then he's
killing
not
him.
the big bad in the next one.
Just want to tell you that Ryan Johnson had started on that film while still working with the unfinished script of Force Awakens,
Which is horrible. That should
which
never
is
have happened.
horrible. So everyone gets the blame here. Everyone
Yeah.
gets the blame, and
Well-
I forgive Ryan Johnson a little bit because he did what he had to do with what he had to work with.
Yeah.
But I still don't love all the things he did. You know,
Yeah,
Well, I don't blame
something-
Abrams, because I don't think it's his fault.
Abrams should have stepped up harder to the
He
plate.
should have did all 3 movies.
He should have done all 3. It would have
I
been much more
Couldn't
cohesive
agree more. However, I don't think the studio wanted to let him do that.
until they realized how badly things went.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know, If
And they messed
are
up even
smart-
bigger because they had Colin Trevorrow doing Rise of Skywalker, and his script, I've read parts of it and all that. It was phenomenal. That was the movie that I wanted to see. And even what's her face that plays Rey, she was like, when he told me what was going to happen with my character, I broke down and started crying because it was just so beautiful and everything, blah blah blah. And I was just like, man. And then they let him go, and they said, no, we're not doing that. And that's when they had to bring JJ back. But that's what it is. All right, Cliff, what are we heading into?
Let's talk about some very strange films we have seen.
That doesn't mean we. Can we say that just because it's strange doesn't mean we don't like them?
Correct. And I think we all do like the strange movies we've seen.
Well, it's funny when you sent me the thing. I was like, that for whatever reason, that's the first one that popped in my head. I'm like, but I really like this movie.
So we are going to start with Green Shirt Guy. We're going to start with the Zardos movie.
It's such a great movie.
What?
It's
which
wild.
This movie's
a
wild.
Sean
This
Connery
iconic Sean Connery.
Oh, it's a dystopian
Wow.
future Sean Connery movie.
What's
So
with
the
the
basic
outfit,
premise
bro?
is it's supposed to be Earth.
It's 2239 in the future.
Is that what it is? I can't remember when it started.
Yeah.
I own it.
Is that what we're gonna
the
dress like
world
in
has
like
been
14
split
years?
into 2 groups. You have the Brutals and is it the Mystics?
No, the Brutals and the Eternals.
Eternals, right? I'm sorry. And the Eternals are very ethereal, philosophical. Everything's got to be just so and whatever. And the Brutals live outside of the city, and they're very much savage, and they ride horses, and they live a very
That's
difficult
frightening.
life.
That
Right?
head floating, that is
Oh,
frightening.
dude! And what it, the stuff
Well, that's
that it
their
says
god. The
is
Brutals
wild.
worship
That's
it.
their
The
god?
penis
Yeah.
is bad. The gun
Frightening.
is good. Zardoz.
What?
Zardoz. I think
Pointed
the
at
Eternals.
camera.
The Eternals, isn't it? They're gonna live forever, right? Is that
They're
the
gonna
idea
live
they figured
forever.
out?
They live in the void. Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
Everyone wears dresses, both men and women.
Wow.
That most of them are tired of life. So the people who
Yes.
spend all their time sleeping are the apathetics.
Yes.
Wow. I gotta watch this movie.
You do. The
It
movie
is wild. Dude.
is wild.
And then when you find out what Zardoz mean, I don't want to give it away, even on this. When you find out where the title comes from, you're like, holy shit, that's awesome. But it's wild. It's out there. And I can't remember I haven't seen it in so long. I own it. How is it that he gets into the city? Do they grab him?
They
because
grab
he
him.
saved somebody?
Yes. And
They want to study him or something.
well, one of them wants to study him. One of them wants, to use him. Oh man, the movie is so wild. I don't want to make it more complicated.
It's
It looked
wild.
pretty wild. Oh my god, can you imagine doing that stunt? That's crazy.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, so do you know why he wanted to do this movie with the crazy outfits and everything?
Why?
get away from the
To
Bond.
get
movies.
away from 007.
He didn't want it.
That doesn't
Oh
that
my
tracks.
God.
But
Yeah.
then what's funny is he goes back to Bond after this, right?
He does. But at least,
Because he couldn't get any work for a little while. Yeah.
I think when he went to Bond, it wasn't because he couldn't get work. It's because they didn't like who they had.
Well, right. So they went. No, you're right. Well, because he came back. Yeah, because they had Lazenby. It was him, then Lazenby for one, and they went back to him, and then he left, and then he did the TV one with where Kim Basinger's the Bond girl. It's a Bond movie that's considered a Bond movie, but it's not an MGM approved. And it's not, the Broccoli's don't put their name on it, but it's technically a Bond movie. And it's basically Moonraker 2.
Yeah.
Moonraker.
There's a
Man,
lot of weird
we
history.
should watch all the Bond movies. I'm telling you what, that if we watch all the Bond movies, you want to talk about some cringe stuff in it. There's some wild stuff. And I love Bond movies. If you just go into it going, I know I'm getting this, and this, and there's going to be some problems, in the current culture we live in, you could enjoy it. But,
Phil says I collect laser discs, and this looks like one I should pick up.
Never say
seen
never
it.
you
again. It's
should.
correct, Phil. The Basinger one is never say never again.
Yeah. Well, man, you might have won this whole weird movie thing.
It's dude. I think do you still have a VCR?
Somewhere.
I have a VHS of it. If I find it, I'll give it to you so you can watch it.
This is.
I don't know. I think we should get the laser disc and go to Phil's house.
You know what? I'm looking on eBay right now.
We'll do a movie review of Zardoz, like a live reaction.
Dude, you can get a DVD of it for $12.
All right,
Blu-ray.
where's the Blu-ray?
I'm not spending that. $40 for the Blu-ray.
Is it a special edition at least?
No, it doesn't even look like that. Hold on. You know what? It's not even.
It just did.
It's not even
$25.
region 1.
He just bought it. Phil just bought it on Laserdisc for $25.
Wow.
We're going over to Phil's house. Phil, when are we coming over? I'm watching.
Phil, when are you having us over? You need
Make
me
sure
to
you have
I'll
have crackers and cheese and hot
I'll
chocolate.
make another Neil for it.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at
I'll
that!
throw down the gauntlet just to watch Zardoz on Laserdisc. And now, is it true Laserdisc? We're halfway through the movie. We're gonna have to flip the whole thing.
Oh, it sounds like it. It sounds like it.
I'm in. What are we doing? I'm in.
Laserdisc.
It's so ridiculous, but I'm in. 1974. Holy crap! This movie's what? Almost 50 years old now.
Yeah, man.
Yep. It's older than me and Sam.
It's crazy.
It's older than
Crazy.
me.
I ain't older than you, but I'm paying. This is about tugging at Sam actually.
Yeah, look at the outfits.
Incredible. Well, you gotta give the director credit. There was no shortage of imagination for this movie.
No, they definitely didn't hold back. But this is the 70s where they went into some weird stuff, and
But like, I like it. Like all the styling, like has like
completely
some
works.
and
Completely
it works.
works.
Yeah, like even like, and this guy was like not afraid of like, you know, sexualizing situations and stuff, but like everything has meaning. He didn't do anything without some kind of artistic purpose for this world he was creating, you know?
Bill
Right.
says, "Yeah, it's true laser disc, and my machine flips automatically."
Oh no! You gotta stop so you can. So you gotta stop so we can manually do it.
I love it. But
Where are we going? We should make that a video event. Where
Yes.
we basically Mystery Science Theater the movie.
We can
Because
definitely
it
do
is wild.
well, that's the thing. We can't Mystery Science Theater the movie because we need a license to do that.
But wait, I can make it a
yeah.
vlog.
Well,
I can film the whole experience, and
we
then
could-
little
couldn't we
clips of us
record it as
watching,
a-
and then do a review at the end.
We
Exactly.
could record it as an audio track that you could watch the movie and listen to it yourself, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we could do.
I think that would be fun.
There is. Shall we move on to Sam's favorite?
Phil says, "Yeah, we could do that."
Yay, Phil. Thank you.
I don't
Cool.
think I even know what yours is.
Mine's put it up there, Cliffy.
Yep, it's coming.
Mine's is a strange movie from the '80s, but it's fun.
Oh,
It's called The Toxic Avenger. This movie is so wild, y'all. When I was watching this movie, I was like, okay, this is pretty bad. But it's his transformation into the Toxic Avenger that's crazy. It's classic. So this nerdo guy, whatever, he's always being
In New
picked
Jersey.
on. Yeah, he jumps out of a window and he lands into some toxic ooze that turns him into the That scene right there was so weird and creepy. It turns him into the Toxic Avenger, and he's basically a superhero from that point out. So good. But Toxic Avenger has gone on to become a cult classic.
It has.
And with multiple sequels.
Yeah.
The one I remember from this studio more than even this is Romeo and Juliet.
Oh man.
I forgot about Romeo and Juliet till you mentioned
So
it.
bad.
Look at that knockoff Joker.
Oh my goodness, so bad, but so
So,
good.
I have forgotten that Anthony is in Toxic Avenger 4 along with
He
one of his
is.
friends. But a guy I work with named Mark is also in Toxic Avenger 4 because they filmed so much of it in Poughkeepsie.
Nice. When does that come out?
What do you mean? What's not coming up?
When does that come out? Is it out
Toxic
already?
Avenger 4? It's old, man.
Oh, it's old? I thought it was like
Yeah.
a new thing we're doing.
No, you think that would happen recently and Anthony wouldn't let us know like a lot?
Yeah.
He's a pretty humble kind of guy, you know what I mean?
I mean, he's not that humble, you know. Not know my girlfriend and I just filmed scenes for the new Toxic Avenger humble. You know, if there was an NDA, he'd keep his mouth shut, but you know how it goes.
Until it came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this movie.
This movie's so gruesome. I really forgot.
Yeah, this movie is wild, man.
Well, that's studio. That was their whole thing. They did that. It wasn't necessarily gore, just as for gore's sake, but they didn't shy away from it.
I'm gonna look up how much it was the budget for this movie.
I'm gonna say
Oh my lord!
$60,000 max.
Budget for Toxic.
Wow,
$500,000.
Wow, I was way off.
That's a lot of money.
for back then.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
that's a lot of money.
How much did it make?
And
It
none of it was spent on makeup.
Let's see. Toxic. $800,000.
You know what?
So-
For back then, that's great.
Yeah. So
Well,
it made-
that's is it $600,000 for production, or is that including what limited probably promotion and so forth they probably had?
back then they didn't really do it like that. You know what I mean? Like their promotional budgets weren't as crazy as they are today.
Right, but I'm saying
So-
sometimes they don't include that in the
Yeah, I'd give it probably maybe another $50,000 for promotion and all that.
so
stuff.
they made 150. between, you know.
Yeah, they made about $150,000-$200,000, which is for what that movie was. You know what I mean?
And for being shot mostly in New Jersey.
Yeah, they
Right.
got all their money back, and they had a good time filming it, and they got a little
Absolutely.
extra in their pocket.
Enough to make another movie.
Yeah, that's all it is. All right,
Woo! So that brings you to my wild ride,
what we got here?
The City of Lost Children,
Oh my goodness!
which
What is this?
which features Ron Perlman, just so you know.
That poster's not. Oh, the guy in the corner though. And now I'm starting to remember this movie.
Right. So the guy in the
It's all
corner.
in French though, right?
It's a lot of it is in French,
That's okay.
but they made an English dub, which was very popular.
Which is what I would have seen. I think I saw this when I worked at Blockbuster.
Right. So this movie, there is like an old scientist, and he can't dream anymore, and he wants to fight death. So he starts abducting children.
Jeez.
And look, Terry Gilliam loved it. All right. So I'm in good company.
And I like Carey Gilliam, but he's
Yeah.
into some wild stuff too.
So like he starts abducting children and experimenting on them, and also stealing their dreams.
Yes, I remember this now.
And one dude is like looking for his brother, which is or his son. It's Ron Perlman. He's the one looking for his kid. And like the movie is so creepy and weird and endearing and lovely, and it's like it's that perfect movie for like super weird creepiness, but like there's something really like beautiful happening at the same time. There's our Ron Perlman.
Yep, I remember this now.
Right, and visually, you have to admit, I mean, visually, it's quite stunning for its age.
The film quality is what makes this not as visually stunning as it could be, but that's just a product of the age. But you're right; it's shot well. It looks good. You're right.
It is 1995, and the French made it.
Correct.
But like, you know, like for what they had to work with, this is very impressive.
No, I agree. Let
me look up.
And the budget for the movie was 18 million, and the movie only made 11.
So lost money.
Oh yeah, it lost a lot of money, but it's got a tremendous cult following as a result.
That's wild.
You know, but like it's so crazy how much they accomplished in this film.
I mean, it looks like they did a lot of great visuals.
They did. Like they worked their butts off for this. It was also, by the way, it was also released in China. There is a Cantonese version of this film.
Is that right?
Yes.
That almost might be worth watching just for whatever.
But the movie is bonkers. I feel like this fan art here that we're looking at, this lithograph art, is like, yes. This
the guy, yeah. Like I said, the guy on the top, as soon as I saw that, now I remember the movie.
Yeah. But you gotta admit, it's an incredible, weird film.
It is weird. I don't dispute that at all. But it is fun to watch. It's a fun watch.
Yeah, like it's all of our picks are good for different reasons.
Yes.
And like I'm really happy with them. And yes, I was inspired because Megan is very popular right now, and I was like, oh, that's a weird film, and I'm like, oh, what are the strangest films we've watched?
Do gotta see Megan. Do gotta see that.
I want to see Megan. You and I can see. We're making a double feature today. We'll see Megan and we'll see Avatar in 3D like it was meant to be. But I'm not going to let you eat.
Can I sit through Avatar again? I don't know.
Wow.
I think I could, but I don't know if I want to.
Wow.
It's just not that much to see the 3D effect. Like, no.
Well, Larry already said I was right, so I just want you to know.
Well, then maybe we'll see. I can never say no. I just like the price points for 3D, like $35 to see 3D. That's a little bonkers, don't you think?
No, I don't think so, because I invited you and I didn't say that you had to pay.
Oh my God, you're gonna pay for my
He invited you
ticket.
on a date there, Sam.
Oh my God, Kamari's
Okay, now that you just said that, now I'm sick, and now it's over. Now there's no movie. Now it's done. Now it's done. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right, Ronaldo. You're right. I'm gonna invite Joey.
Joey, you're next on the list.
I get no love. At least I'm part of the council.
No, because you already watched it.
Watch what?
Oh, you didn't watch Avatar yet.
I haven't seen.
Yeah,
I fell asleep during the first one.
Well, because without the visuals, there is no movie.
I'll tell you what, I didn't feel like it was 3 hours. I sat through it like it was normal. I didn't fall asleep. None of that. It was paced very well. It had great pacing.
Wow, my search results gave me a bunch of other really weird ass movies. Like they're like, oh, you like what you've been searching for? Here's the very long engagement. Go give that a try. Go see if you can figure this movie out.
Weird 80s movies. Let's see. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
What about The Adventures of Baron Munchausen?
Yeah.
What?
That's a weird movie, but it's fun too.
I gotta check
It's
that
Terry
out.
Gilliam.
Yes.
UHF was pretty weird, even though I
Yeah,
love
that's-
Weird Al.
Yeah,
That's
kind
a
of
pretty
weird.
strange, weird movie. The weirdest 80s movies.
See, I don't find UHF too weird. Labyrinth and Dark Crystal are Larry's entries. Those are pretty dark and weird, and they were aimed at children.
Yeah, they were.
Dark Crystal's one of my favorite.
I was just about to say that, Larry. Garbage Pail Kids. Mad weird movie.
Dark
Mad
Crystal's one of my
weird.
favorite movies. Anytime there's a format change and I have upgrade, that's one of the few movies I
Return to Oz.
Oh, Return to Oz almost made my list. That was so
I saw
weird.
that movie. They offered it. So, I mean, I'm sure many schools do this. It was offered as a free, like, come see it at the school type thing. And we had this big auditorium in elementary school I went to. So it was free. I don't remember much about that movie other than
But the
it
head's
scared
coming
the
off.
shit out of me, and we left early. That movie scared. Yeah, I was scared.
I made my mother rent it for me because we couldn't see it at Radio City Music Hall, right?
Okay.
And my parents were just left me alone in the living room to watch it, right? And as a sensitive
That's
kid,
child abuse, my friend.
I was already traumatized by Superman 3 and the cyborg scene where Vera gets transformed.
Oh
Right.
my god.
And
Was
now
this-
I'm
Was
watching
this
this
pre-blender
movie.
or post-blender?
What do you mean post-blender?
What you seeing Return to Oz was it pre-blender or post-blender?
I don't know. All that blends together. It's in the era of the blender.
Yeah, strange movie, but I love it. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
You know, I've
I
never seen
enjoyed
that
both
movie.
the original Pee-wee's movies.
I've
They were
never
great
seen that
movies.
movie.
You've never seen
Oh.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
I've never seen it.
You have to see Pee-wee's
I
Big
also
Adventure.
enjoyed Big Top Pee-wee, I gotta say.
Big Top
I-
Pee-wee is
I-
good too.
My parents, I grew up in a very Christian household, which is, you can say whatever you want about that. But there were movies that we weren't allowed to see, and that was
Pee-wee was one of them.
I don't think it was one of those we weren't allowed to see. It's just we just didn't go see it. So
Mm.
there's blank spots in my 80s, whatever pop culture knowledge that I'm now filling in as an adult. But that's one of them. I've never seen that.
Yo, Chris Christopherson is in Big Top Pee-wee. I just got you to know. Just gotta let you know.
Is that right?
Yo, Ernest Goes to Camp is classic too. That's a weird movie, but that's classic.
I've seen that movie.
That's a
I
good
like
one.
that one.
And Danny Elfman did the music to Big Top Pee-wee. I mean, Big Top Pee-wee got everything.
It's classic. It's classic.
Valeria Golino is in it, and she's gorgeous. Am I right, Sam?
Yes. Earth Girls Are Easy. Remember that one?
Yeah,
You guys ever watch that?
I did.
Mm.
Obviously, it didn't do much for me.
I guess one of the
Oh, you ever
strange
seen The Lobster?
No.
That's newer though.
It's a newer one, but it's out there. You
It
gotta
is
see
out
that.
there.
Have you seen it? Have you saw it, Cliff?
I have seen it. Yes.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah. Oh, now do you know what I do still enjoy from the 80s?
Hmm.
Vibes.
I know
With
exactly what movie
Jeff
you're talking about.
Goldblum, Jeff
Last
Goldblum
Starfighter.
and Cyndi
And
Lauper.
what's her name did it too? It's True Colors. What's her name? Like
Cyndi
Cyndi
Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Making me repeat myself. I'm over here. Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper.
Show love to Cyndi Lauper.
But in the meantime, the movie's great. Cyndi Lauper can communicate with a spirit that she's somehow been bonded to, right?
Mm.
And then Jeff Goldblum can touch things and get a psychic history of the things he's touched. So, like, they're testing him in a room early in the movie, and he touches this butter knife, and he goes, "Oh God, someone used it to stab somebody 67 times. Why would you let me touch that?" And there's a few other psychics in the movie too, like, you know, who have a unique trait. But some guy hires them to go to South America to like go uncover this ancient secret, and you know, as usual, hijinks ensue.
Ancient Chinese
Moonwalker
secret,
was definitely a strange one.
What about
The Last Starfighter also.
Clockwork Orange?
I feel like everybody knows.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know?
strange one. That's still a strange one.
Like
Look at
Michael
this list.
Jackson Moonwalker, I don't think.
Oh,
I don't
Strange
think-
Brew. It's a weird movie, but it's good.
What's that?
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew. Wow, look at Diane coming in with Eraserhead.
I've never seen that. I know about that movie though.
The weirdest movie I ever saw was Eraserhead. An estimated budget of $10,000, and I saw it in the cinema when it was first released. Wow.
Jack Nance and Charlotte Stewart, directed by David Lynch.
Wow.
That's something else.
Donnie Darko. I'm looking at this list and see what's on here. Donnie Darko's a weird movie.
It is a weird movie.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I think we've covered our share of strange films for the evening.
Yeah, I think this was a really, really good show.
So, do you want next week's assignment?
What we got
Sure.
for next week?
Next week's assignment is this. We are each to choose a movie that we watched and hopefully enjoyed, and we watched it because it starred someone we loved from a comic book or sci-fi movie or show.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so
I mean, that's okay. That's pretty broad.
It's not as hard as you think.
It's not. That's pretty broad.
it just can't be, it has to be another thing that they acted in.
Right, but the fact is, like, for
No,
instance,
so we watched it because we saw them in a comic book movie.
or sci-fi movie or show, yes.
Okay,
Yeah. So for instance, I watched Death Trap because it had Christopher Reeve, who I loved as Superman.
Gotcha.
And I ended
So,
up
like,
watching a very adult film.
So I'm not going to choose this, but so like we're saying, like I could choose, and again I'm not choosing it. I could choose Knives Out because it has Chris Evans in it because I saw him in Captain America.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, but I feel like
and that's not going to be my choice. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just okay.
But the younger people can choose that. The older people can't go that route. We got to dig harder.
Jeez, I'm going to have to go back to some old school stuff.
You know, like
Holy moly.
did you watch a Michael Keaton film because you loved him as Batman?
See, I remember.
But I
seeing
like Michael Keaton before Batman.
I
That's
like
the
Michael
thing.
Keaton before Batman as well.
For me, Michael Keaton, the penultimate Michael Keaton movie is Mr. Mom.
Me too. Yes,
I
agreed.
love that movie, and I
Mr.
showed
Mom
that
was
movie to my
classic.
son.
Larry just wrote it too.
That movie is amazing.
Yeah.
It's aged well.
Johnny Dangerously.
Dangerously.
Classic.
Are we considering
My mother shot
The
me
Matrix
once, Johnny.
part of like a comic book thing?
What are we considering?
Matrix?
Are we considering
Yeah.
The Matrix a comic book thing or no?
It is a sci-fi movie, so it can count. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I can Keanu Reeves in something else I
Yeah.
can
The
think of
fact
one right
is
now.
you watched it because you enjoyed him in The Matrix.
I'm thinking of one right now that's a little
Okay.
out there. That's,
Where you were
would
like,
fit
"Oh,
with this, actually.
I watched it because of him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
the movie
I
I'm
want
thinking
you
of
guys to
fits with
know.
this.
I gave mine away. The truth of the matter is, I watched Death Trap because I loved Christopher Reeve as Superman, and the eye-opening experience that movie gave me, I'll reveal next week.
All right. All right. You want me to take it out, Cliff? You want to take us out?
Oh, you can take us out. Thank you.
All right, Council of Comics. We want to thank everybody for watching and tuning in to another Sunday night of movie and news. Remember, we do this every Sunday night. We do this every Monday. Next Sunday, we're going to do a 5 o'clock show. And then tomorrow, we're coming back here for 8 o'clock to do the new key and hot books of the week for New Comic Book Day that's coming out on Wednesday. So make sure you're joining us here, same place, same time, 8 p.m. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below, share it with your friends. If you're watching on Facebook, jump over to YouTube, please, and click that subscribe button.
But also like the video while you're on Facebook.
Yes, and like the video while you're on there. Larry says Iron Eagle. That was a classic, Larry. That was a classic.
And comment too, because I think comments actually mean more than likes at this point. But
yeah,
you know.
Comment the way you guys are commenting here. You know, we've had probably the most viewers we had consistently this whole show, as far as we've done shows, which we love, and we love commenting back and forth. So join us again tomorrow, so you get the ups on the new comics. So for myself, for Cliff NY, for Green Shirt Guy, and the rest of the Council of Comics, we thank you for joining us. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Go Bills.